Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alison, the online piano and online violin tutor. Now this is part 2, video part 2 on 3 tips on how to get the most out of your practice session. Part 1 will be linked underneath this video. I would suggest that you go and watch part 1 of this video before you continue on and watch part 2, because it is kind of cumulative. I suppose you can watch them in different orders, but go and watch part 1 first and then come back and watch this. Before we do go any further though, I just want to tell you all about my 1 to 30 violin course. I know I get a lot of new subscribers every month. Hello, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe because I release videos on a weekly basis. And I know a lot of you don't know that I have a 1 to 30 violin course that exists along with all the videos that I do on my channel helping you guys out and everything. So if you'll indulge me just for a moment or two, I just very quickly want to tell you all about that course and tell you why it's fantastic and why you should part with your hard-earned cash to buy it. My 1 to 30 violin course is a fully comprehensive and professional course that guarantees to take you from a complete beginner to a very decent, accomplished intermediate level by the end of it. The course is very simple and it's very easy to understand without the commitment of an in-person tutor, which is fantastic really and what most of us want. But it does guarantee to still give you the same level of skill that you would get from a private tutor. This course has been based on my 20 odd years of private teaching that I've done through the course of my career. The course has been designed so that anyone at any age and any level can follow it. The lessons and videos are very easy to follow and you don't need any prior knowledge of any music or any other instruments or anything whatsoever. The course covers everything from how to hold the violin, how to hold the bow, how to read music, technical exercises to improve your skill and dexterity, music theory, bowing techniques, more complex pieces, more techniques, everything that you could possibly need and much, much more. There really is no other course like this available on the internet and all the reviews on my shop speak for themselves. Basically what I'm trying to say is that my course will take you from this to eventually this. The course is 100% downloadable. There are no physical books to ship out, no waiting times or anything like that. As soon as you buy, you can download and get started on the course immediately. It's available worldwide to anyone and is available from my shop, www.amsmusicshop.com, and is priced at $59.99 US. So basically, once you paid, you can get started straight away. All you're going to need before you start and download the course is your violin and your enthusiasm. Okay, so 3 tips on how to get the most out of your practice sessions. I gave you 3 in part 1 of this video. So tip number 4, I would say listen to new pieces that you are starting to learn or you're starting to play beforehand or before you start to play them, just so that you know what's expected and you can get a flavour for the piece. I find listening to a piece of music before I start to learn, it does inspire me. And it's not necessarily something that is reserved for musicians that are playing on a much higher skill level or professional level or anything like that. I think it goes for anything. Even if you are, for example, even if you finished 1 to 10 on my 1 to 30 violin course, you finished lessons 1 to 10, then you're ready to move on to Songbook 1. Songbook 1 just contains 10 pieces or 10 songs that are the exact level that you will be once you've reached lesson 10. So even if you are going through Songbook 1, and you may recognise some of these pieces, they're kind of pretty well-known classical pieces that you've probably heard before, but I would still listen to them. There's a QR code in all of my books, so if you've printed your book out, you can use the camera on your phone or your tablet, scan the QR code, and it will take you to the video performance, the exact video of this performance. If you've got this book online and you haven't printed it out and you're looking at it on your tablet, computer, whatever, then there's a little link, a blue hyperlink up here. So if you're on a computer, click that link and then the performance video will open up as well. But it will help you with the rhythm, it will help you with the flavour, it will help you with the speed. It will just give you more of the picture than what you're going to get just by looking at it. So if you're just looking at this piece of music, you know, you can see it's country gardens, you can see the notes, you might sort of know how that kind of goes in your head, but it's not going to give you the full identity of this piece of music. It's almost like you've only, the sheet music's kind of giving you 25%, 30% of what you really need to know. So if you listen to how pieces of music go, and this is probably more so for the more complicated a piece of music is. So for example, when you are getting up to the dizzy heights of Songbook 3, for example, so you're going to be onto this after lesson 30. These pieces are a lot more complicated than the ones in Songbook 1. So you're definitely going to benefit from listening to them. So before you embark on a new piece of music, I would highly recommend that you listen to the pieces of music. Some teachers recommend you don't do that. I do. I mean, you know, you wouldn't want to be listening to it and listening to it and listening to it and listening to it, and to the point where you're just completely studying it and getting bogged down with it, and then you end up copying too much of that person's performance. But you know, it doesn't hurt just to listen through it a couple of times whilst following the music, so that you can, you know, you can understand where there's more tricky parts, or you know, whatever. So it'll just help you decipher the music, and it will help the music just seem a little bit less daunting. Okay, tip number 5, choose music at your current level or slightly above so that you can improve sufficiently, but you're not too frustrated that it's so hard. So when you're learning a piece of music, it can be nice to play pieces of music that are at our current level. So pieces of music that we enjoy playing. We know that we can confidently accomplish them. We're not going to have any problems with them. A little bit of practice, you know, and we've nailed it. That's great, but they're not really good for progress. They're not really good for pushing us on. They're not really good for challenging. They're not really good for learning new things. So the whole point of learning a piece of music is that a piece of music contains a particular technique or several techniques that we haven't yet nailed or come across or encountered or anything like that. But you don't want to be really playing pieces that are very far out of your realm of skill, for example. Those kind of challenges are not great for really progressing, because they are so far ahead of your skill set that there's not going to really be anything in them that's going to particularly help you at this point in your learning. And you need to learn. You need to get to that point where you are not learning anymore. So I'm now at the stage where I'm not learning. I don't have anything more to learn. Obviously I can still get better, I'm not saying that, but there's nothing physically more on the violin that I haven't come across or that I need to learn, you know. So I can pretty much tackle anything I like, and that's the kind of stage that we want to get you guys up to. But obviously you've got to do that in incremental stages. So having a very difficult side project, fine, actively encourage that, that's great. But in the meantime, those pieces don't challenge you in the right way. They don't help you learn particular techniques, because there are certain techniques that you need to know along the way before you get to those techniques, and we haven't learned what we need to know along the way yet. So I always recommend choosing pieces that are either at your current level. They're great for you to just play, to build up repertoire, so that you've got something you can physically show and play You know, it's great if you've got party pieces up your sleeve, as it were, rather than always having something on the go. You know, if people say, oh, play me something, oh, I can't, I'm halfway through learning a new piece or something. It's nice to just have pieces in your back pocket that you can play, that you can enjoy playing, and they're not too easy for you, if that makes sense. But as far as, you know, challenging and learning, choose something that's just a little bit out of your skill set, but, you know, fully achievable. Okay, and number 6, I've said this before and I'll say it again, observe your own playing to help you to keep improving. One way to do this is to record yourself. So the easiest way to do is just to video yourself, a video camera, a recording device. The easiest one to do is to use a phone, put the video on your phone. If you don't want to actually physically video yourself, then perhaps you can just put the video on the table so it's recording the ceiling, or, you know, whatever, and just record the audio. But the easiest way really is to record yourself and teacher yourself. So if it were me, I would record myself playing, I'd listen to that recording back, I would have the piece of music in front of me that I could quite happily go through, I'd listen to the recording, I'd have a pencil ready, and then I would, you know, start to mark and circle anything that I didn't like the sound of. When you are playing yourself, you are too busy concentrating on what's in front of you, you're too busy concentrating on, you know, the violin, the instrument, and all that kind of thing, and you're not really thinking about, you're not really listening. You're listening, but you're not really listening. So you're not listening in the same way that I would listen as a teacher. My students pay me to listen, obviously, and they come in and they play, they show me the fruits of their week's worth of practice and hard work and everything, and then I will sit here, dissect, criticize, you know, challenge them, and, you know, whatever, and help them get better. But when you are learning yourself, that's very difficult to do that. And when you are playing pieces, you are not really listening. You might think you are, but you're not really listening. And I guarantee that if you played a piece of music yourself and you were going through and you tried to pick out the parts that weren't so good whilst you were playing, or made a mental note as you were going through, I guarantee you'd pick up twice as many mistakes as you would if you were videoing yourself or recording yourself, playing it back, and just taking the time to just really listen with your ear what you've done and then mark down on the music. I think you'd find far more mistakes doing it that way than you would trying to do it as, you know, while you're in the movement and in the moment playing. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will put links to everything that I've mentioned in this video directly underneath, including my 1 to 30 violin course. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Part 1 will be linked underneath as well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.